for people experiencing opinions. Please help guide our community leaders in this decision they make. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Is there-
Boing, 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 gone.
A little excitement here. We're good.
Save the potatoes.
Yeah, save the potato, right.
Carrie, would you just log, please, would you mind? I know you're occupied. Folks, while he's bringing that up here, I'm going to give my usual announcement. Citizens are allowed to make comments during this portion of the meeting. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. I would certainly appreciate that. Keep in mind that if something is not on our agenda, that anybody in the council will not be able to respond. So it's not because we don't want to, it's by law. So anyway, we'll just start off, and Denise, you want to start us off?
My name is Denise Seibert. I live on Great West Loop. I'm still going to push that if we could get voting here at the community center. I know you've got it rented, but this parking and everything is so much better for people, and not to have a harassment and hassle trying to do it at the city hall. The parking situation, the accessibility is the problem that I see. I'm not sure how many come on voting day, but I sure wouldn't want to discourage people to come. And it should be for the community. We are the taxpayers that pay for this. I know you make money with other ways, but we pay for this. So kind of like we got enough problems trying to get people in for elections, so let's not discourage them. And then I heard that we no longer have our communications advisor or employee, and I really hope that we would push and stop spending extra until we have these 4 audits done. Because we need to have, that's so important to this community, to make sure that we are balanced, that everything is in order. Because I'm a person, I keep track of everything in my spending. I still do a check register because I like to know where I'm going with my money and where I might be wrong with my money. So, and I don't think I've ever said thank you to my city council. I'm a volunteer. I know the hours that it takes. I know it's finances. I know it's time. And so I want to say I appreciate you guys. I hope that we can all respect each other. We may not all agree on things. I'm one of those that might say no about things. But I hope that we can stay with respect and honoring and not bad-mouthing each other. And so I hope that we can keep that and keep cordial, because you serve our community and you serve me, and I do appreciate that and all the extra hours. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you for your comment. James, you're Jimbo, as I refer to you. Yes, technically we say James.
Jim Schneider, 45 Wrangler Drive. I think we have to announce all that. So here tonight representing the Volunteer Firefighters Association. Just want to put out that we had our first ever baked potato fundraiser. And at last check, about 3 minutes ago, we're all but sold out.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I want to thank everybody at Morgan's Point for supporting it. And we started, so it was supposed to last 5 to 7 or until sold out. If you look at your watch, it's 5 after 6, so we did really good. So thank you, Morgan's Point. We appreciate the support, and next time we'll make more.
Make more baked potatoes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jimbo. Appreciate that.
Hey, thanks for your delivery service tonight.
Yeah. Mr. Clune, where are you? I saw you waiting here earlier. There you are.
Pat Clune, 4 Roy Bean Drive. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to talk about 2 support groups that we're working with to help the members throughout the community. The first is a cancer support group. Jim and I and the wives, of course, have started trying to get organized a small support group for people who have or had cancer. There's very few things in our society that can scare us any more than you go to the doctor and they say, hey, we need to talk about cancer. Like, oh my God, you know, I got 15 minutes, make it quick. It's very difficult to get a lot of answers from the doctors because they're on limited time. And a lot of the questions that you have are not going to come up at that point. So what we're trying to do is get together informally, just sit around and drink coffee or whatever, and help each other with having cancer and get advice from people who have had it. This is what I did. This is how it worked. This is where I went. It's very, very difficult for the patient, but it's a real bear for the caregiver. If any of you have ever had that situation, you know it's very, very difficult for the caregiver. So what we'd like to do is, Kathy put out a note on Facebook that we're going to try to get this going. And if you're interested, just let us know. Let Kathy know, because I'm not a very good Facebook person. And we're going to see what we can do. We just want to meet somewhere informally on a very ad hoc basis. And she'll put out some more information when she can on Facebook to see how things are going. So anybody and everybody's welcome. The other one is dementia support group. And if you've ever had to deal with dementia, if you have it, you won't remember it. But if you ask me how I know, it's a horrible, horrible disease. And once you get in and start looking around, there's not a whole lot they know about it, and there's even less they can do about it. But it's extremely hard on the family, friends, particularly the caregiver. And it's very difficult to find good answers about what's going on and what you can do about it and how to handle it. So in my dealings with people that have had it, it's like somebody came down from Mars, took your body, and they just walk around looking like you, but their brain is not there. It's horrible. We just lost a good friend of ours to the effects of it. Again, it's very, very hard on the caregiver. And, so there's a support group, not ours, but there's a dementia support group that's offered by the Brookdale Western Hills Senior Assisted Living Facility. A lot of words. Up on Adams. And they, every Thursday, the second Thursday of each month, they have a meeting, and they bring in people. They've had several doctors from Scott and White, people from hospice, people that tell you a little bit more about what's going on and what you can do about it and how to handle it better. A lot of people feel guilty about mom, dad, somebody having problems and not knowing what to do about it. And it's at 6:30, second Thursday of each month, and they have a few snacks in case you're missing dinner. And if you'd like to contact them, we can give you the number. Just ask Kathy. And we've learned a tremendous amount just by listening to these experts. The first three people they brought in were gerontologists from Scott and White, doctors, and then skilled nursing people on that. So, thank you.
You bet.
Thanks, Pat.
Lynn, do you want to give your report? Come on up.
Hi, I'm Lynn Mom, 28 Morgan's Point Boulevard, president of Morgan's Point Resort Cops. And I just want to tell y'all what we've been doing lately. We had one fundraiser that we did on our own, kind of low-key, and we raised money for the Fellowship Baptist Church. We gave another donation to them for their kindness, how they always share their parking lot with us and everything and help us with all the everything we have. And we gave them a donation for the bus, again, for their bus. They're trying to still raise money to get a bus for the church. And then our group also voted to give a monetary donation to Jay from the cops and on behalf of the police department. And he was very appreciative. And that was something they all voted, and we asked the cops if it was okay that we gave money to them, and not, he wasn't a policeman, and that it went over fine.
That was very
It was
nice.
very good. Right now, we are working for the city to help with the April the 8th bunny, it's time for the Easter bunny to be around again, and so we are in support of the city doing what we can for baskets for the prizes, so we hope that y'all all come out for that. And then we are heading up the June 3rd Kid Fish with the police department, and we are getting donations right now for that, and that's going to be a big thing. Last year was the first year we had it since getting rained out 2 to 3 years prior and flooded out, and we had 68 kids back on the first time, and used to there was tons more, but there were 68 of them, and they were so precious. I mean, they were so excited. I'd never seen a fish that long, but I did that time, and then only to be traumatized when they put it in there with the big fish, and the big fish ate them, and then the little kids came back and said, "Where's," "Oh, look at this big one, honey, isn't that nice?" You're trying to, because they were gone. The big ones ate them. But anyway, so if we hit y'all up or something, that's what we're raising money for right now, is the Kid Fish, and that's going to be open to, it's free day of fishing, the one day that it's free you don't have to have your license for the kids, and we're going to be down at the marina starting June 3rd, probably, if it was anything like last year. God love them, we met down there. I guess I went to get worms at 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that, and then putting up tents and all this other stuff. Yeah, so it's early. It's something. But they love it. And then the next biggest thing we are already trying to raise money for is our October 19th and 20th, the 3rd annual Thomas Nipper Memorial Barbecue Cook-Off. And we had a huge turnout last year, and we expect even more this year, and because we have a $5,000 payout, and so that's what we got. So mark those down on the 19th. There will be a band out there like last year.
Could you, so on the 19th is
October the
day?
19th is a Friday.
19th.
And then and that's the night the band will be there. And October 20th is when the teams do their cooking.
And I've got Friday the 20th.
Okay, is it? Yeah. Okay, well then I must have looked at the wrong. Okay, well then you're probably right. 20th and 21st then, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, see, yeah.
We still got time to correct it, be sure it's right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we're
I'm
good.
sure he's right, but, yeah, I work too, so. So the 20th and 21st. So the 20th, yeah, that's a Friday. Then that's when the band will be there. And then Saturday's when the cooking and all the prizes and all that stuff. And so that's what we're doing. So
Thank you, Lynn,
thank y'all
appreciate
very much.
appreciate you and your volunteers, all your help. Thank y'all for what you do.
Do you want me to go ahead and do the auxiliary report now?
Let me get Jim in.
Oh,
She-
okay.
Then let her, and then I'll let you do that, Donna, you don't mind?
Oh, sure, no, that's fine.
I didn't forget you.
I should have known she was the last one, right? I should have known that.
Well, I didn't want to hurt her feelings.
My name is Jim Ann Durkee. I live at 54 South Cliffwood Circle, and I have given all of you a break for several months before I start talking about streets again.
Thank you.
And I have discovered someone in Chicago who is an artist. And these pamphlets that I've copied are just taken from a website about him. He goes around and he does this all over the country. And he does mosaic tiles of pictures in potholes. And
I like that idea. That's better than the flowers that we talked about in the
that's
potholes,
better than the
Jimmy.
flowers, yes. Now, and then just think, we would be the only city in central Texas that has mosaics in its potholes. And anyway, it's something to think about, and I have contacted him, and he has given me kind of an estimate on the price. So if you're interested, just let me know. Thank you.
I love that idea. I love
Well,
that
Jim Ann,
idea.
that is certainly unique. I'll have to give you that right there. That's
Yeah. I thought it was good when she came up with planting seeds in the potholes and growing flowers. I love it, Jim Ann.
Okay, Donna. You follow that.
Yeah,
okay?
I gotta follow that. I don't think so. Okay. This is the Ladies Auxiliary. Karen Steigner, the president, submitted this. They met on the 9th at the Event Center. And they wanted to remind everybody they postponed the 2023 5K run to 2024. And they thank Joanne Guzman for leading that group. And the Coppin Robbers is going to be March 23rd in 2024. And so they'll keep you updated on that. The chili cook-off has been moved to September 23rd. And they're thinking about this time maybe doing it at Oakmont Park. You know, they've always had it out there at Ansay, or they've had it down here before. So maybe changing locations. And like Lynn had mentioned, they're going to be there Saturday, April the 8th at Ansay Park. That's our annual Easter, Easter egg hunt with the kiddos. This has been going on since the 70s. So this is has been in our tradition in our city for well over 50 years. And so they'll be working on the prize baskets. If anybody wants to help, like Lynn said, donations for the goodie bags and all that, if they could have them, contact any member of the auxiliary by the March 16th. And they're going to do the Flame of Knowledge again. If y'all remember the Miss Flame contest that they had, they've changed that up and they call it Flame of Knowledge. So kind of has a different criterion. And this is for high school girls, and it's probably sophomores and juniors. If they're a senior, it's a little bit too later. But they're going to do a $1,000 check to the recipient. So that's really nice. My daughter was Miss Flame one year, and it was $500 back then. So it's kind of nice to get that little bump. And so also they are working on Jimbo at the fire station there, working on your sleeping quarters for people that are spending that. Taryn, I know you spend many a nights in that place.
Big couch, but I mean, it's time to change.
Is there? So it says they're furnishing the firefighters' sleeping quarters with new beds. Do y'all know this stuff? Bed frames, linens, tables, lamps, personal fans. I mean, I'm thinking we're all going to take a little siesta there occasionally, and other furnishings. And they got a wonderful grant from Sam's Club and a grant from Walmart in Harker Heights. So once they're remodeling and redecorating, they're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony, and they're going to invite the people that supported this, for a ribbon cutting. And what's that? Little sleepover, yeah. That could be another prize at the Valentine's Ball. Sleepover at the fire station. I love it. I see it coming together. And as always, she wants to thank everybody, your support and generosity for the community, and for thanking us, helping anything we can do for the firefighters. Okay, we appreciate the auxiliary too.
Thank you, Donna, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, moving along, the next thing is the consent agenda. On that agenda, we have the minutes from the February meeting, and also we have a discuss and consider replastering the city swimming pool out here so it comes in compliance. Do I hear a motion to accept that agenda, then we'll discuss it if you have any.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second, Brian. Okay, is there any discussion on it? I think the pool is about 18,000, something like that, I believe, to replaster, so.
And that'll just be for the kid pool. We put them both on there. It is just for the kid pool. They wouldn't have time to get the other one done, so we left that one off.
And that was budgeted, we had 20,000.
We had 20
was
budgeted, yeah.
It was 22,000 budgeted, so that's why.
If that's the case, do I hear a motion to accept that?
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Okay, I know we've already in the agenda. All approved? Any disapprove? All, okay, it goes through on, everything's approved unanimously on the consent agenda. Okay, right now, we're on presentation number 4. We have a public hearing, and, we're gonna think about postponing that, right?
So just go ahead and open the public hearing. We can talk about it a little bit, and then once it gets to the actual agenda item, council can vote on it.
The presentation is we have a public hearing on curfew. About 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, we passed a curfew and moved it into an ordinance. Now it needed to be tweaked some, and so we'll open it up at this time at 6:20 for public hearing. So if you have any comments on curfew, probably won't take action on it tonight, but we'd be more than happy to hear your comments.
And Dennis, just by way of comment, we've actually had the curfew for many, many years.
Yeah.
But by law, I believe it's every 3 years, Dalton?
Correct, yes,
It
ma'am.
has to be renewed again. And just for your information, the curfew is under 17. It's just so if you want to make a comment, you've got a little bit of information there. Sunday through Thursday, it's 11 o'clock to 6 a.m. is the curfew. They can't go out after that. And then Friday and Saturday, they can be out till 12:01. I love that. Who came up with that? 12:01 to 6 a.m. is the curfew time. And I know when we initiated it years ago, we had to do it because all the other cities were, they had curfews and everybody was coming out here. So that's what your curfew basically states.
Can I just ask the question? So is it the same ordinance that we had 3 years ago? We're not making any changes, we're just,
Well, we don't know yet. There may be a possibility of
Yeah.
a change. They're gonna tweak it
So,
possibly.
yeah, we took a look at this. It had been approved. Chief Schutze had looked at it, the current or the ordinance as it stood. We are gonna recommend to council to, there was some, and again, I don't know the details of it. We had already done the public hearing notice in it, so we didn't want to not obviously have the public hearing and then not have an agenda item. Chief Schutze recommended that we push the ordinance back a month so we can dive into it and review it a little bit more. There is some language in there that we want to clean up a little bit before we push it forward. So we didn't want to take it off the agenda because the public hearing was there, so it was kind of confusing. But we are going to recommend that staff postpone it at least for another month.
we'll have another public hearing.
Yes, ma'am. So there'll be another public hearing once we do that again. So if there is any, questions, concerns, or comments on that, please direct them to Chief Schutze. The other thing too, just for y'all's awareness, when we do bring it back, we are gonna recommend that we do pass it, or council does pass it, or decide what they wanna do with it. But just be aware, we're in the 88th legislation now. The 88th legislation does have a bill or multiple bills going forward that they're trying to get rid of the curfew, so we don't know where it's gonna stand. We don't know if it's a House bill or Senate bill that's gonna pass it. So just be aware that it is at the legislative session. We don't know what they're gonna do with it, and right now there's a lot of support to actually completely abolish all curfew ordinances preemptively across Texas. Well, we don't know if it's a preemption or if it's a bill, and we don't know if the difference between general law and home rule can impact that. But right now, as the bill stands, they're looking at getting rid of all curfew ordinances. But we'll have an update next month whenever we bring it back.
Okay, any questions on that? Like I say, you can refer them to the police chief or to Dalton, either one. Yes, ma'am.
Just a question, so you said there's some language to be cleaned up, will it involve raising the age? I hope not.
Let's get the language in there and then we'll discuss it. I don't like to play the what if game.
We don't even know yet.
Yeah,
when I talked to Chief Schutze about it, so basically this was one that was kind of handed down before, and then when we had taken a look at it, the public hearing had already gone out, and so we didn't have time to pull the public hearing, so we put it on there. So Chief Schutze has some notes. We're gonna go over all those notes and everything, and go from there. So I don't know the details of it. We're just kind of putting some stuff down. One of the questions was why was there a day missing? We know some of the reasons why, but again, we just want to dive into it to see what best practices are out there and making sure that we don't just cookie cutter one from another city or even though it's been the same for a while. So we just want to make sure we do our due diligence and look at it fully before we put it back in front of council.
Any other questions?
Do you know how many violations that annually that we get for curfew violations or anything?
I have no clue. So technically it expired in January, and so right now it technically doesn't exist. But that I don't know. That would be a Chief Schutze question.
Does he have his ear? Can you hear us, Matt? I don't know if you were blocking us off, listen to some tunes over there or whatever, but, okay. The question was, have we had many violators?
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head.
Okay.
I don't know that. Of course, the summer times are always the violations, and then of course, the curfew ordinance is one of the things that helps us prevent crime. And so that's some of the language that we need to look at because some of the things in there are kind of hindrance to the ordinance that are in there. And so we need to look at clean that up to where it actually helps us prevent more crime. So there's just kind of some of those loopholes to clear up.
Okay.
But I don't have the numbers off the top of my head.
Yeah, we'll make sure we have those for next meeting whenever.
Thank you, Chief, appreciate that. Any further comment? In which case, I'm gonna call the public hearing closed at 6:26. And like we say, we'll revisit this at another time, okay? So we're not passing anything, so you'll still have time to comment when we have more specifics on there. Okay, moving right along, next one is the Planning and Steering Committee. I'll report on that. Becky, go give that, there she is.
Good evening. We had our first meeting in a while on March 6th to preliminary review the results. There were 543 responses. 84% of those were from residents of Morgan's Point Resort. They're currently working on a vision statement, and we'll have that ready for you soon.
Okay, appreciate it. What about, planning and zoning? Who's gonna do that one, Alton? Is it, you gonna do that one too? I thought that was the case, but I didn't want to put you on the spot.
That's okay. We have the items being brought to you tonight are reappointment of a P and Z member to another term, and the preliminary plat at the Cliffs at Lake Belton Phase 2, and the annexation and zoning at the Cliffs of Lake Belton Phase 2. That's what I
You
got.
might as well stay up there. I'll introduce you here in a moment.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda is discuss and consider resolution 2023-03, City of Morgan's Point Resort, reappointment of a member to the planning and zoning.
Oh, and
That's
who is that
me.
member?
In case y'all don't know, here she is.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to
I
accept that?
move to adopt resolution 2023-03, reappointing Becky Cooley to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
In a second? I'll second. And, okay, Bruce, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I didn't ask for any discussion, so I bypassed that. Okay, congratulations again.
And
Thank you.
Thank you, Becky.
Listen, you might stay up in case we have something else.
Yeah.
Okay, next one, resolution 2023.01, City of Council of Morgan's Point Resort approving the use of portable radio grant number 48-11101 for the City of Morgan's Point Police Department. And this has to do with a grant. If you want to tell us about it?
Let me get my, look at this. There's live streams out there.
Oh, while he's on his way up here, for your information, we hear a rumor we may have a sound system by next meeting.
Yay.
Yeah, that's a possibility, so we're hoping that it'll come in sometime, before the end of April,
Good.
so.
Yes, so the resolution that is in front of you is related to the JAG grant, what they call the JAG grant, Justice Assistance Grant. It's the same grant that we used just this past year, which we're still operating under for purchasing our MDTs. So we're basically going and seeking out for this upcoming budget year. So the project period is set for October 1st of 2023 to September 31st of 2024. So next basically budget year. But we've applied for funding to purchase handheld radios to replace our handheld radios. So our handheld radios have been in since 2015, I believe. And so we want to replace those with brand new ones. And we're just basically the JAG grant comes up every year. And so as long as they give us money, we're going to try and get some stuff from them.
And we're anticipating no matching funds needed on that, correct?
Yeah, so the JAG grant, it's a 100% fund, so there is no matching funds. Most of the stuff that the police department has looked at and is like pursuing at the current time is all 100% funding, so no matching funds needed.
Yeah, that's your lead.
Yeah,
No matching funds.
no matching funds. Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
sir. We appreciate your effort on that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Matt.
Do we need to pass that? We need
Yes.
to pass that? Okay, do I hear a motion to accept 2023.01? It has to do with the police department radios, accepting that grant.
I'll make a motion, we accept it.
In a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion second by Sean and Robbie second. Any discussion?
Just one little thing, and I've already talked to Dalton about it. In the language in our resolution, it says that the City of Morgan's Point, Texas agrees to provide applicable matching funds, and I think we just need to note that we just heard there are no matching funds, but it's in our resolution, so they would have to come back if that changed, because the auditors want a trail where we approved it. So I guess the language, Dalton, you want to go ahead and keep that in there like that? the applicable
Yeah,
funds?
that's fine. We can, We can look at that. I mean, really, that's just built in there for the fail-safes for the, most grants. Every grant resolution you're gonna see is gonna have something like that if it's 100%. That way, if it's high or low or whatever, boils down, inflation gets you and they don't offer that, then whatever the difference or delta on it's gonna be, ultimately the city would be responsible for it. But yeah, we would bring that back to council. That's more of gonna be our internal controls versus the resolution side.
So, on that as well, that actually, the resolution is actually a template that is recommended by the feds.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah.
Really, you just drop in the number that we put in there and then change the grant number, and it's pretty much the same.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Matt.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Okay, next one is, discuss and consider tabulation, we got our bid tabulations on our emergency generator. And, that has to do with our ground storage tank that's being constructed right now. So Dalton, I'm gonna let you, take it from there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. So this is the second generator. This is for the ground storage tank that's currently being built. They actually poured concrete, I believe it was this week. Yep, so they poured concrete this week. Everything is moving along. So basically, kind of just a refresher, we had the generators as an alternate above the base bid. That way, in case for some reason it came in high or we needed to make a different decision, council ended up rejecting those bids. I think we initially had EOPC of 336,000. All three bids came under the 336,000. And talking with our engineers, we did a competitive bid process. The only thing that's different on here is on the handout, the date is supposed to be March 3rd under the subject line versus in the actual packet, it says, I think, March 7th. But March 3rd was when the project opened bids and bids were read aloud. 3 bidders, and we're recommending, with the recommendation of our engineering company, to accept T. Morales Company with a low bid of $257,950.
It actually came in, what, about 40 grand under our original?
60, 50, yeah, somewhere on there.
So-
Science.
Do I hear a motion to accept, resolution 2023.05, the resolution for the, I'm on the wrong one there, on the generator tank, not a number on it.
I'll make a motion that we accept resolution 2023.05.
Second.
I'll second it.
This has to do with the generator, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Moving right on, thanks, folks. Next one on the agenda was a discuss and consider juvenile curfew, ordinance again, but since we've already talked about it in open session.
Number D.
I missed one? Oh, I'm sorry, I missed one, okay. Resolution 2023-05, appointment of election officers for the city general election coming up in May. Do I hear a motion to accept that 23-20-05?
I'll move for the adoption of resolution 2305.
In a second?
I'll second.
In a second. Is there any discussion on it?
No, just to thank Ophelia and Janet. Thank you so much for serving as our election judge. Well, we got the top dog doing that for us.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank y'all for what you do. And,
we appreciate that.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead of myself. And the one this has to do with the curfew allowance, so we're gonna wait, look at that again next month, so we're gonna leave it, not gonna vote on it. So I'm going past that. Planning, this has come out of planning and zoning, but resolution 2023.04, Morgan's Point Resort, the final plat of Cliffs of Lake Belton. This is phase 2 of the Cliffs of Morgan's Point, which is the area around Camp Kachina. This is phase 2 on it, and it has gone through planning and zoning. They've approved it, but it was up to us. So do I hear a motion to accept that?
I'll make a motion to accept, resolution number 2023, -04 for annexation.
In a second?
I'll second.
In a second. Is there any discussion on the council? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you all very much. Boy, that's moving right along. I I already busted your bubble on the audio visual update. You wanna elaborate on it?
You got one
Oh,
more
we got
on there.
one more,
Ordinance
G.
2023.
We're not gonna let you off the hook that easy. You got a G. It was added.
Almost.
Oh, the cliffs, okay. I'm sorry. Discuss and consider ordinance 2023-02, annexing the cliffs of Lake Belton. Do I hear and accept that motion, please?
I'll make a motion. We'll accept the ordinance 2023.
And a second? And second, Robbie second. Any discussion on that, folks?
The only thing that I'll say on that is everything, all the mailers, everything was done in accordance with the statutes on annexation. The only thing we missed the zoning portion of it. We were trying to do them concurrently. We missed the public hearing notice by 3 days, so we're basically starting the zoning process over. It's not gonna hinder development, it's not gonna slow down the final plat or annexation or anything. All it is we just gotta make sure we just go back through the administrative process, and do it the right way for
And
the
that's,
zoning.
that's not really uncommon. We did that last annexations we had, you know, because it's such a little short window there that we did them separately, so.
At the present time, any annexation we do is volunteer. It has to be, it has to be volunteer to come into the city. We cannot arbitrarily annex property. So, this has to be requested, so they have been requested that. So just for y'all's different information. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes on that.
Do y'all know where this is? Do you have an address? Okay, okay. Right across from where the cliffs of Lake Belton were before.
Nothing, we'll let you do the update. If you want to give an update and any report you want to give, you're welcome
Yeah,
to.
no, nothing too crazy. I'd say the biggest one, Chief Shootsy, Todd Hodge, and I are gonna go down to Houston on Friday. Officer Nipper is graduating from the K-9 course, and so that'll be starting to get implemented when they get back. So, he's been in, I think, pretty intense training for 6 weeks. 9 weeks, close, Samsonite. And so graduation is Friday, so we're gonna head down there.
Chief, do you have anything you'd like to say?
We're just stealing bubbles from me.
I know. He took mine, I had to take yours.
Pay it forward, I guess, right? So, not much on the police department side, except for coming up, starting planning for the, like Lynn said, Kidfish, June 3rd. Lynn has taken over quite a bit of the planning process for me, which, you know, I am very thankful of. Allows me to do my other stuff here. So, just wanted to touch base as far as, so we, like I said, our MDT grant, all the funds, all of our purchases have been made on that grant, and we're basically installing them. I'm installing them hand by hand, you know, once a day over the next couple of days throughout the month. So they should be, our cars should be running up in there. We did have one officer that was on investigative leave due to a use of force incident. He has been cleared of that and has been returned to duty. Other than that, we did hire, the last council meeting, if y'all were here, we did hire 2 new officers, so that was our department's opening, so we are fully staffed now. And then we're looking to go seek out some additional reserves at the academy that's going through right now. I'm trying to build our reserve program back up. So that's basically all the updates that I have. Any questions or anything? Oh, yeah, sorry, the event on April 5th. See, my other hand. So April 5th, the first Wednesday of the quarter, each quarter, we usually do the Coffee with the Cops. We renamed one of them in January. Was in January we renamed to Pancakes with the Cop. Yeah. So we slightly different name, same thing. So this coming up on April 5th, we are having Cookies with the Rookies.
I love that. Did you come up with that? Yeah, you did.
Yes.
She's so funny.
There you go.
Cookies with rookies.
Cookies with rookies. So the two new officers, our two new officers will be there, and we're actually changing the time as well. So we're doing it in the evening time. So 5 to 7, I believe, Becky, right? 5 to 7. So that way more people can come instead of early in the morning when they're trying to get to work or don't want to get up early. This way you can come have cookies with the rookies in the evening time. So April 5th, 5 to 7.
Okay, appreciate that.
Yep.
I like that, that's good.
Yeah, that's really cute.
Darren, did you like to say anything?
Sure.
Never misses an opportunity.
I want to say, we actually just wrapped up spending on a $20,000 equipment grant that got to the Texas Forest Service, and some of y'all might have seen the article from the Senior Mayor, and this box here in the back of the room, but we were able to spend $10,000 on ventilation fans that are battery powered, on a DeWalt battery, like a lot of our equipment is now. It's a huge step for us, it's something that we just didn't, foresee ever being able to get, so that was cool. We had 10,000 more, and we realized our AEDs, so the boxes we used to help bring someone's heart back to life, were failing, not failing, but they were well over 10 years, and we had a couple of them pass inspection really with the last mayor. So long story short is we needed new ones. We went ahead and were able to purchase 10 more AEDs, a couple in partnership with the city, so you now have one here, the first time ever in Morgan's Point history, in a public building. If you guys want to learn how to use it, drop by the station, we'll tell you. We got one down at City Hall. We're actually able to share that with our police department, with two on police cars too, that are brand new units as well. And then the entire fire department's covered. So that was a pretty cool way to round out that grant for the fire department and for the community. So that's about it for us. We had a fairly quiet month, knocked on something. I think about 55 calls, response time was about under 6 minutes. The city was really, really good. And we had some unique training opportunities. We had some guys do some vehicle wrestling training, some EMT students, stuff in the winter. We got a couple people going through the Texas Fire Chiefs Conference next week, and we'll be joining our partners in the police department in best practices. So, did I miss anything? Awesome.
I have a question, Terry. Is there any way that we can get instructions, or are they too involved? I mean, like if somebody was here having a party, but they weren't trained.
Oh, you asked
Can
for
we?
it now.
Don't you be using that on me, my heart's good. Oh, perfect. Perfect.
It's like it's a serious thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seatbelt.
And Taryn, would you'd be available to show folks how to operate that if they want it, right?
Yeah, it goes through.
Perfect. Goes
yeah,
through the
it,
whole.
It goes, yes.
Okay.
What if I
Love
missed
it.
her? How can I restart it?
What's that?
What if I missed something because I was distracted by Donna?
Pop-up book. We will be happy, anybody that wants to swing by the fire station, anytime we're manned, we have a we don't have the new trainer yet that matches this one that's coming. But we do have the old AED trainer. In fact, our Squad 61, the medical unit you'll see around town says Take 10 on the back, Take 10 is on CPR, has a training kit in it. So the long story short, if you want to know more information on how to do this, we can show you in a matter of minutes how to use this thing. If we're not around and you're here and you're having a party, you're like, hey, look, they don't look good. Walk over here, open it up, follow directions on it, put it on here, and let the machine do the work. That's why it's called automated.
What's in the bag?
The bag has some gloves, and it has a little barrier mask. It has some different things you may want to use. These are optional. We're advocating for non-ventilated CPR, just compression only. I don't want to take too much time, but again, we'll do a community class, we'll do community outreach class.
That'd be
And,
great.
We appreciate that
That
too.
would be great.
Yeah.
all good questions.
Yeah.
But the thing is, really, if I never said anything about it, and y'all saw some trouble here, and you saw that box and knew, hey, that's a refrigerator, pop the lid open, and it'll tell you exactly what it is. It's really cool. The other thing that's really cool, this is one of the first in the county that's got it. They will analyze the rhythm through compression, which is jargon, medical jargon, back to less time off the chest. More compressions over the patient, and a better chance of survival. So,
And Taryn, those are in all the police cars, is that correct?
all the police cars have AEDs. The newer updated ones are only in 2 units. Some might.
No, we decided, we pulled all of our old AEDs because of lack of inspection and maintenance program.
We are putting those into the budget for this next go round.
Okay.
And we're gonna go around and put those, so we have basically 2 that get rotated, whoever's, with the 2 units that are on duty. Right, now we have a day shift and a night shift, so they pretty much just get rotated between day shift.
They're like
and night shift. But
$2,500 a
when
pop.
these get
Yeah,
cleared,
something like
then
that.
they'll be, hopefully by that.
Yeah, we
time,
had to replace them all at once too, so.
Good.
Thank y'all for that. Give people our age, my age, It's a big plus right there, Neil. Yeah.
I had a personal experience with one of my daughters who plays basketball about 2 years ago. I was at a basketball game and one of her fellow basketball players went down a cardiac arrest. I got to use the AED that we helped get to the school 10 years ago on that patient, so it's pretty near and dear to my heart. It can happen at any age, but I'll be our age. I just turned 50 this week too, so I'm in the crowd that's probably gonna need this.
That's why I asked about instructions.
Thank you, sir.
And just a little trivia, our city years ago used to be called Heart Start, I think. And our city was one of the first, he said, we're the first in the county with these. We were one of the first cities in the county that bought 2 of them. That was a big deal back then. We bought 2 of them in our city. We were one of the first ones in the county to do that too, so.
I think Busted's paid for 1 or 2. Yes.
Yeah, super, yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Jesse, would you like to say anything?
Our ground source thing, pump station project got kicked off pretty good before concrete last week. We have a foundation for the tank in line and it's gonna move forward.
Good deal, appreciate it, appreciate it. Okay, council, I'll start with y'all. Bruce, do you have any questions, anything you'd like to say?
Now, what about Carrie? Is he chopped liver?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Carrie's chopped liver.
He just runs our finance.
Sorry, Carrie.
It's in there, so we actually had submitted the initial application to the Safe Routes to School to have the sidewalk connection on Lake Bolton all the way down to Local Holland Road. So we got past the initial phase, so we will have a meeting, or actually we'll know by the end of the month. So hopefully come next back, you all will know that we actually got the green light and to go ahead and go forward with it, so.
Thank you, sir. I didn't mean to bypass you, I'm sorry there.
Bypass.
He's used to it.
Well, sometimes that's not a bad deal.
No.
You know, out of sight, out of mind. Bruce, would you?
Dennis, you forgot the library.
Did I miss something?
Library's on there.
Pam.
Where's Pam? Pam here? Oh, I'm sorry, Pam. I didn't see you here.
Right now, but we are working on some great projects, and I'll let you know about them.
All right.
So y'all have, Pam, y'all have a work day tomorrow? Is there a work day tomorrow?
Tomorrow is volunteer work day at the library, 1 to 3. Everybody welcome. Come help us spruce up the library.
Okay. Anything else? Now we'll start. Bruce, you'll try it one more time.
I just say it's great to see everybody out here tonight. Appreciate y'all getting involved in the city, and great to see y'all.
Yeah, just the same thing. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank you for your comments. We appreciate y'all being here, taking time out of your busy nights to come out and kind of find out what's going on in the city and get some updates and things. So appreciate y'all being here.
Robbie?
Ditto. Thank y'all for coming and look forward to seeing you next month.
Larry?
Thanks for supporting the council. That's all I.
Tom?
Thank you.
Neil, would you like to say something for a change? You kind of quiet. You want to say something?
When Neil's quiet, it's a good thing. That means everything's legal, right? It's when he starts talking, we're in trouble.
Want to thank everybody for coming out, but I want to remind you that on April the 8th, I don't think y'all are qualified, but we do have an Easter egg hunt, so if you have grandkids, please have them come. That thing's, the last couple of years have been tremendous. It's huge. And even if you don't have grandkids, come out and look. I mean, it's a fun thing to do. That's on, I think, 10 o'clock on Saturday before Easter. Also going to remind everybody, we do have elections coming up in May. There'll be another meeting between here and there, but just a reminder that, when does absentee voting start? April
24th, April 24th.
April 24th.
April 20.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to register, if you're not registered to vote, you have till April 6th in order to vote in this election.
Oh, okay.
So,
And there'll be a meet and greet on April 18th at the church from 6:30 to probably 8 for all 10 candidates to field questions and get to interact with residents.
We may also, Dorothy, we may try to offer the facility at the library to all candidates if they want to have coffee, and just as a volunteer basis. We'll put it on the agenda. We'll put a 72-hour notice on it, so in case the council members want to attend, they can do it. But we'll let somebody else coordinate that. I'll let somebody else take care of that. But we may try to have it. And then the candidates is at the church, right?
Correct.
At church. What time is
And
it?
that, what,
It's on the website, I think, already.
April 18th?
Okay, that'll be on our website, right? It is on there now? Okay. Other than that, thank y'all for being here, and please, please stay in touch. If there's anything you need or any questions, please don't hesitate to call City Hall. I mean, we're there to answer questions or help you if you need it, okay? Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, just, there you go.
We should do that for the art contest.
And a
I'll
second,
I'll
a
second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's all done.
Any opposed?